Tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Royin Thomas. I'm 54 years old. I have always been disabled from a very early age up to when I fall down the stairs. I was took to, I went through the special schools and blah and that lot. At the age of 16, I was took to a shelter workshop where I was told that I would never work and would have to attend this shelter workshop for the rest of my life. So sadly, I left home the next day. And to prove everybody wrong, I worked 27 years with 2 full-time jobs. Sometimes 3 full-time jobs. Averaging, I was doing 18 hours a day for that many years. I ended up as senior management in social services and managing a charity as well. After about 7 years, things started to go wrong with me. I started to become very bossy with the staff, but I was never bossy because as a manager you're there to listen to the staff and support that staff through her job. And one day I ended up in Bristol. I went to pick up my wife in Castlevale, what is 3 miles from home. And I ended up in Bristol, didn't know how I got there, didn't know what, I don't know. I was very frightened that it was, that I was suffering with some kind of form of dementia. I have tests, and basically the tests showed I got a thing called deteriorating brain injury. When you're young, your good side of your brain took over. Now both of them are not working as well. Tried to work, because I thought I still could work. I got a job at an interview with the Birmingham City Council for a district manager's post in play development. Money was brilliant. But I had to have a medical, and I passed the council medical, but I was not. I had to have a permission off my doctor to say I could work, and she wouldn't give permission, so I didn't get the job. Sadly, my son was being very abusive to me, violently and physically. And I was a prisoner. I was not allowed to go out in any room. When his mates was around, I was only allowed to go into my room. I was not allowed to use the kitchen, was not allowed to use the toilet downstairs. I was not allowed to do anything like this. Social services did do safeguarding thing on me and that lot, but because I'm so scared of abandoning my child, I wouldn't do anything about it. So it's my choice. I'd make my own bed. I was seriously down. I was a prisoner in my own house. My appearance was coming down to the stage where I wouldn't wash, I wouldn't talk much, and I just watch telly, even though I'd stay at the telly, even though I was not. And I was diagnosed with depression, and so that was it. So when you got involved, it was like somebody to talk to, and it was an amazing thing. you got the skill of what most support workers should have, the skill of just listening, not judgmental, not being keen to help and that like, just listening and that like, and that's one of the best skills anybody with support worker out in the community needs. Slowly, you just got me thinking about the future, and I was saying, oh well, I wouldn't mind doing some kind of course in woodwork and that like, because I like woodwork and you was getting me going to colleges, information, and you seem like you really did a lot of work. When it was not one college, it was a load of colleges and this world and that lot, and it was just at last somebody who was there for me. I can't really explain it, but it was really, really good. And you also got me thinking about some kind of day centre for myself to attend. And I was a bit weary about that because all my life I've been fighting to get away from the day centre thing. But realising the space on where I am now, you know, I'm very forgetful now, and I'm very set the kitchen on fire a couple of times. I don't know if you remember that. And just basically unable to work due to the deterioration of the brain injury. So I now go to a day centre twice a week. I do look at my reading and writing. Even though I got a degree, I can't write no more. I can read quite well, but I just can't write. So supporting getting that up to scratch is important. I look at they do like a social thing where you go out and have a meal with the clients and other clients, and you just go out and that like. And that's all to do with you. You got me to that level. It was really strange. If you asked me a year ago, before you started, it would be very, very much that I wouldn't be able to learn. I mean, I wish you was a member of one of my staff, but when I was around working, but it's just that it was a bit weird being on the other shoe, because I did referrals like to organisations, I did support and everything. It was just so weird to be on the other shoe. I did tell you that, didn't I? I say, and you allow me to come to terms with that, because that was a big struggle with me. And God, I don't need it. I can do referral. I can do that, you know. I used to do beats and grants and all sorts, but that was really it. And now I'm looking at. I built a woodwork shop at my caravan in Hereford, and I'm looking at staying some days a week at Hereford doing woodwork, what I always wanted to do, and all this is capable here. My son's still eloquent, but you know, you can't do anything about that. But otherwise, I have moved forward in the last year more than I did in 7 years. And I can't be more thankful that you are a necessary service, what must carry on.